Hi, Sagittarius rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 21st of April until the 27th of April. So, this is quite about the vibe for you. You are moving from a focus on your daily grind and physical health into more of a 7 year cycle centered on your relationships, the mirrors. This week, you are going to be having a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth house activations mainly, and a bit of a ninth house as well. So, for the last 7 years, Uranus has been causing earthquakes in your sixth house, the house of work and health, making your daily routine anything but routine, really. And on the 26th, that energy finally moves into your seventh house, the house of partnership, and you are moving from this functional disruption towards more of a relational revolution. This week is about taking the freedom you have fought for in your work and finally applying it to how you connect with others. But you have got armor going into the sign of Aries, your fifth house, and this asteroid is going to be spending there a good 9 months, going retrograde on 28 degree and then going backwards. So it's a longer period of time. At the same time, Eros moves into your ninth house, Bacchus enters your seventh house. So it really feels like with the fifth house, there's the joy. Your fifth house is highly concentrated lights, right? So that's about joy and fun and holidays. And the ninth house is expansion, a bit of a dramatic expansion, but very passionate. And the seventh house is the house of partnership is buzzing with social energy as well. So with Amor stopping in your fifth house, look at what you actually enjoy. Maybe it's about working through your intimacy department. It's about falling in love with a creative project. Start an 8 month review of your creative projects and how you play your games. And Eros in Leo is about to fall in love with a new study, a travel destination, or a big idea. So let your belief system be your muse. And then the partnership is about to be buzzing a little bit. So it's about enjoying witty banters with your partner or your bestie. Go to a lively event where you can talk and mingle with people. But what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't rush into a fling. Armor moving into your fifth house is kind of like the instant love archetype, and it might be just an impulse, temporary. So take it slow. I think don't preach too loud with Eros in your ninth house. It can make you slightly bit loud about your opinions. Passion is great, but ensure others have a turn to speak. Even it could indicate certain type of political debates as well. And Bacchus in your seventh house can make everyone look attractive or interesting, so don't lose the depth, for the sake of variety. Venus is making a conjunction to Uranus right on the 29th degree of Taurus, which is your sixth house. This is the final lightning strike of Uranus in your house of routine and health. So you might have a sudden breakthrough regarding a health issue or a work project you have been kind of slugging through, suddenly ends or transforms completely. If a daily habit is killing your spirit, it is telling you to drop it. 29th degrees is like a permission slip to walk away from a Taurus burden. It's like with Taurus in the sixth house, because we are working to be able to pay the bills, and Uranus has been trying to liberate you from that. But of course, it can also talk to you about investing into a tool that makes your daily work a lot lighter, a lot faster as well. And maybe it's about doing something radical for your physical health, something that breaks your kind of safe routines. Don't signal physical stuff. 29-degree Taurus is a crisis degree. So if your body says stop, don't try to push through like a typical Sagittarius would. Don't potentially sign long-term work contracts either. It's a bit too erratic. Wait for Uranus to move into Gemini. And maybe don't cling to your office desk. If your work environment feels suffocating, step outside a little bit. The breakthrough happens while you move. The sun is in your sixth house as well, squaring Pluto in your third. It's a bit of a clash between your physical chores and health and your powerful transforming mindset. You might feel like your daily tasks are preventing you from speaking your truth or learning something deep. So it's like a bit of a communication detox. Pluto in your third house is changing how you think. Use this square to cut out toxic neighborhood talk, repetitive small talks with others. And this is an invitation to focus on your logic. It's about potentially a pressure to finish a complex mental task. The square provides the squeeze needed to get things done. So you can become very productive with this as well, especially third house related activities, such as writing, putting a course together, a sales, certain type of commuting, and so forth. You can do a bit of a power walk with this. You can use your body to move your mind. So a brisk walk with your dogs while listening to a deep podcast is a perfect Plutonian use, actually. I would not get into any type of arguments. Because this square can trigger certain type of power struggles with siblings or people in your local area. It's about being smart, what type of a fight I want or a battle I want to pick. Don't overanalyze your to-do list. Don't let your third house mind create a list so long that your sixth house, is kind of like collapsing at, because then I'm going to stress out and then it can pop up as a kind of body issue. Also, don't suppress your words. So if you have something powerful to say, maybe at work, say it, but be prepared that the response might be quite on the intense side. Now, of course, with Uranus entering Gemini, the same time Palasatini enters Aries and Psyche enters Cancer too. So it really feels like it's a social kind of awakening. Your partnerships are about to become kind of like a laboratory for the next 7 years. Your creativity gets this sharp strategic upgrade. You have got a creative collaboration potentially ahead of you. And we just want to outline the details here, which is all leading to a shared resources actually, with Psyche entering your eighth house. I think this is about being open to non-traditional ways of connecting. Uranus in the seventh house loves intellectual partners who give you plenty of space. But use Pala Saturn in your fifth house to kind of gamify your creative projects. Use strategy to win at your hobbies or your dating life. And Psyche in your eighth house is surely about soul safety and sparking up a bit the intimacy department, having those deep, sometimes scary conversations. But all these are leading to certain type of a healing. There might be some relational change. Changes are often good. People come and go quickly in our lives with Uranus in the seventh house. So trust that variety is going to help you somehow. Don't try to lock people into your life. Don't be too clinical with joy either. Pallas can be cold. Don't turn your fun into kind of like a math problem, because then you suck the joy out of any type of creative projects. And don't also ignore your intuition about money either. If a shared financial situation feels a bit tacky or vulnerable, trust that feeling. The eighth house is highly sensitive. We have got quite a few asteroid and Jupiter there as well. Then Sun runs into a sextile and a trine with the nodes. Now your nodes are in the fourth and the 10th house. So it's somehow a sense of alignment between your work, your home, and your career. So you potentially see how the new you fits into this long-term legacy that you are about to start building. But it does remind us of having to have a home-work balance. So use the Sun in Taurus to create that practical bridge between your office and your nest. It might be about you using your daily routine to support your public reputation without over perfecting. That's very important. Because what many of us, have to walk away from still is that over analyzing, over criticizing ourselves. And maybe it's a good time to spend some time with your family, kind of like a Taurus dinner with family, grounded high voltage energy of the week in a simple, like meal, something easy. So don't get lost in that career perfection, because the South Node still can make you very obsessive about your public image. Trust the Pisces North Node and focus on your inner peace. Don't overcomplicate the how. If a solution for your home or work appears, just take it. This sextile is an easy aspect, so it is giving us an opportunity to fix up a home, to fix a connection with a family member, and so forth. But the fourth house is also about resting, so don't forget to unplug. After a week of fire and air, these are all activities. Your sixth house needs a bit of a rest. So spend time with your dogs, with your family, walk in a park, be in the nature. So I think the spotlight is moving from your chores to your connections. You have worked hard on your routines and now you are being invited to play and partner up, maybe in certain exciting ways. Use your strategy in your creative life, trust your intuition when it comes to a bit of an emotional turmoil, and don't be afraid to let your relationship be different. Firstly, I did make a very in-depth video about Uranus moving into Gemini, and I also broke that down for all 12 signs. So you might want to be revisiting that. Here. I'm just giving you a bit of a summary. But I also feel like for you, Sagittarius, it's about seeing things clearly, concentrating, doing a lot of mental work with Pluto in your third house. So you might go and study, you might take an exam. With the eighth house activations, you might want to apply for a loan, for example, for mortgage, and so forth. But it also feels like that you are looking for your own truth. Also, it's about with the sixth house getting pretty active, it's about seeing how small things fit in your life. So this is about being organized, potentially organizing your finances, the bills. We can actually do something like that as well. You may have all these receipts accumulated in your drawers, like from years ago, maybe 7 years ago. Do I need them? Let's get rid of them. Taurus also represents the pantry and a bit of a kitchen as well. So we can do a bit of a clearance there too. The fifth house is surely about imagination and, fun and joy and being on a stage and holidays and creativity. So it looks like you have got a lot of new ideas popping up in your head. Just make sure that you don't focus on Neptune too much where we over idealize things. Because, of course, if you are single, this could really talk to you about attracting someone new as well, like I said. And often this might be based on more of a chemistry rather than a reality. So just be mindful about that. Good luck, Sagittarius, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.